Gemini, there's a storm brewing on the horizon for a situation with you and someone from your past, somebody who took you for granted. They just thought you were always going to be there. And something has happened now where you're starting to feel like this relationship is going stale. So your energy is changing and this person is beginning to break because of it. All right. So if this was a runner chaser dynamic in the past where you were the one that was on the chaser side and you were the one that was pursuing things, get ready for the tables to turn now. This person is going to start chasing you because they really do want this relationship after thinking about things, and their whole world is kind of collapsing here. So the situation is getting ready to change. This is a storm that is coming in. Gemini, let's see what we get for you with this storm brewing. Look at this. Weathered storm, storm brewing. Very stormy. It says this love has weathered storms and you're still sailing. That says more than any picture perfect moment ever could. I feel like that's what this person is thinking about right now as their world is collapsing, as they're having this realization about you. It's like all of these emotions are just bubbling up and coming up to the surface here, and this lightning is getting ready to actually strike. It's like it's in the air. You know that staticky feeling right before a storm comes? That's what I'm sensing here, but it's like within your dynamic with each other that this is coming in. I don't know that this is conflict between you two. We're going to be pulling cards here. But there's feelings that this person is having about you right now. Let's get a card for that. Let's see what's going on with this storm. Past life love. Yep. Like I was saying, it's this staticky energy that they're feeling right before the storm coming in. This person is realizing that they feel this sense of familiarity here. It's lifetime after lifetime after lifetime. Like we were seeing that boat on the water, that boat that was going over all of these waves, but yet you're still in this boat with this person through thick and thin, through every lifetime. This red string of fate type energy where they cannot seem to quit you. And I think this person has tried. I'm seeing a lot of rainbow energy here too, just with this deck that I chose to pull, because I just pull that right before I start. Yeah, this person, you know, I think you and them have had some unhealthy tendencies, right? There could have been some lessons that were definitely karmic between the two of you. And this person wasn't always the healthiest person for you. And I feel like there were some things that made you feel taken for granted. And now it's like there's this spark that's happening within them through this realization, you know, that some of the things that they do are just not very healthy. Tell me more about the stale relationship. I feel like you were always the one coming after them, you know? Okay, so this one does have a third party. There's someone else in this energy field and their presence is creating distance, doubt, or distortion. Yeah. Yeah. So you weren't getting enough from this person because they had other involvements. They had other things that were getting in the way. So this is, usually it's a person, but it could also be other things like work. This is somebody who could have always been working, always had other commitments, always been like, oh, well, I have to go visit my family or do whatever. But every single other thing in this world, it seemed, came before you. And so how in the world could you make this relationship work if you constantly felt taken for granted? That you were the one that had to hold the burden of this relationship. You were the one that had to be in pursuit, trying to convince this person that you guys had something special. And so now you've released your energy and they're sitting there in the energy of being fully with that third energy, that third party energy. And they're like, wait a minute, this isn't what I want at all. Without you, you know, I don't have that spark. I don't have that feeling of destiny. Yeah, I don't have the future. You guys see each other in your future. You're walking towards it hand in hand. But they broke this home. That's what I was picking up when it comes to these unhealthy habits. So as a child, there was a dynamic about healthy love and modeling healthy love and what real intimacy feels like, and why it feels confusing or dangerous, because, you know, we tend to gravitate towards what we know, but that may not necessarily be what is actually in our best interest, right? So for me, I was raised in a household where my feelings didn't matter and my parents' needs mattered more than my own. So I was parentified, and I ended up having to be the one that took care of everyone else's feelings while not really accepting things for myself. And I would put myself in those situations as an adult and continue that pattern to attract people who couldn't really give me what I needed. But what I started realizing after several relationships that seem to have a different face but the same person, if you know what I mean, is that it was actually something that I had to choose to change, and I had to choose to overcome that by working on myself and my own self-love. Because or else I was just going to continue to do that pattern over and over and over again. So I chose me. And now there's a standard that didn't used to be there when it comes to what I deserve. But this person is meant to be with you. Like, you guys have this past life connection, right? You guys have this past life love. Part of that is healing these wounds, right? And there's no better way for spirit to get your attention than for you to feel love or attachment to a person, so that it helps move you, because nothing will move you more than love or fear. But then what's happening now is that the dynamic is changing and the dynamic is switching. And so now you who were the chaser is now going to be chased. What does this back say here? Yeah, because you guys have everything in common. You know, when it comes to what's important, you find the same things interesting. You guys can talk for hours, right? This is natural. This is shared. You guys equally are passionate about each other. You equally care about each other. This isn't a situation where you have to really try for this love to be when you guys can stay out of your head or stay out of your egos. Because when you're in the flow, everything is totally fine. Okay? But again, you know, I'm seeing this healthy habits in the reverse, and it's just about like, how do we move forward and try to change some of these patterns so that we can actually do better. You know what I mean? So let's see what energy this person is in. Let me see if I can get there it is. What energy is this person in right now for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, North Node, and Crosswatcher energy? If this reading does not resonate for you, please check out one of your other placements, okay? And I also have a Gemini playlist of readings that are timeless. You can always check those out too. What energy is this person in for Gemini? The Ninja. Master of Stealth. I love this because you're over here like, my dude, I can see right through this situation. I see you hiding behind the curtain over here. I see you jumping rooftop to rooftop dressed in your all black. I see you through my crystal ball. Hello, hello. I see you right here, because you guys have this bond. So it's like their normal tactics are to hide and run and avoid and do all of these things, but it's just not working on you. You're like, we have this cosmic connection, and so it doesn't really work like that. They don't get that yet. But I think part of them trying to hide is because the storm is brewing inside of them. And so they're really uncomfortable with that. So even if this person has tried to move towards you, again, I feel like they're moving into what's comfortable, into hiding, that kind of thing. Also, when it comes to this third party, they're hiding from confronting that scenario. So they're still in the state of hiding. Okay. Yeah, and my dog is barking right now, which is always interference. I think this person is afraid of interference. Okay. All right. What about how they see you right now? What energy do they see you in? Lawyer, you are so, look how big the scales of justice are that you're holding on like it's nothing. Like it's like this humongous scale of justice. And you're just sitting there like, no problem, no worries, I got this, no problem at all. You know what I'm saying? No problem. Because I am not going to accept anything less than justice for this situation. Look at all the paperwork I've printed out. I've got all my exhibits prepared. Right? And again, you're standing strong. You're standing with your shoulders back, with your eyes forward, focused on this justice, right? You're the keeper of justice here with the situation. So this person can go and jump on rooftops and do whatever they're going to do, but it's not going to really change the scenario here. You're not going to back down. You're holding true to yourself. Tell me a little bit more about this ninja energy. Tell me a little bit more about this ninja energy. Yeah, this person is holding their feelings in. Okay, so the King of Cups loves you. Okay, masculine, feminine, doesn't matter. This person is in love with you. They have this huge cup that they are holding, but the King of Cups doesn't always reveal their feelings. In fact, they hold the most love and they're the least likely to actually share that love, but they're waking up to it and it's stirring inside of them. It's this teapot is about ready to explode, right? Yes, with the Ace of Spears, this is about attraction. This is about new beginnings. This is about what they want. This is about them wanting this new beginning with you to light this match again. Okay, because what was it saying about the match? Need to add spark back into connection. This is your spark. The spark is you, Gemini. You're their spark. You're what gets them going. You're what, it's not just schmexual energy either. We're talking about you're the one who lights the fire inside of them passionately, who makes them want to get up in the morning. You know what I mean? Yeah, victory. Okay, 6 of Spears here. This is like 6 of Wands. They want to have this victory with you. And I'm just seeing there's someone hiding here in the crowd, and there's these masks covering everyone else. The only person that doesn't have this mask on, you know, is Daenerys that's up on this horse. And so it's like they want to present themselves to you. They want to come in towards you. They want to be open in public, right? But they're just not. They're staying in this energy of doing nothing, right? So there's a reason for this. And again, I'm seeing a third energy here, because normally in the 4 of Swords, it's just one person laying there with the swords, right? Here, there's another person that is like hovering over them. So I don't know if this is representing you or this other third party situation, but this could be kind of like your energy helping to like energetically heal them, whatever it is. There's some sort of energy or interaction that's happening with this past life love energy. You're still helping them, I think, from afar, but they're not acting at this moment. This person could have some kind of illness. They could have some kind of situation that's going on that you're not aware of, some kind of depression or anxiety or something that they're trying to heal from or move through. Yeah, the Lovers is sticking out. 10 of Wands or 10 of Spears and the Lovers, yeah. So again, the storm is brewing about how they feel, about how they have this connection like no other. The sense of familiarity, every time they dip back into your energy, it's like this watering hole. You know, Divine Empress 333 talks about this watering hole of the connection, where they will come back to refresh themselves. They will come to you for sustenance, come to you so that they can feel something again, is what I'm hearing. But then they leave, right? Because they feel better, and then they can go acting the way that they were acting before, but that's not working anymore because the Ten of Spears is here. So the burden is here, the storm is brewing, and it just can't continue like this. Okay, I'll throw these back in the deck in the middle here. All right, so let's get a little bit, yes, with the Sun. You are this person's whole world, Gemini, truly. Let's get a little bit more about how they're seeing you with this lawyer energy for Gemini. This lawyer energy. Queen of Coin. So this could be you or the third party. Knight of Coin. One more. The Chariot. Okay, so I think you have an awareness of this third energy that's slowing this person down, and you're wanting this person to come at you correct. So this is a very slow energy, but this is also somebody coming correct towards you, right? That's the best night to come towards you, because although it's the slowest night, it's also the one that is most credible and consistent, right? They're in this hermit mode because of this other situation, and it could be something having to do with the business, practical, money, something physical, children, home, 401k, all that kind of stuff. Like, that's the Queen of Coins type energy. But you're just sitting there standing your ground until the choice is made. Now, the Chariot is the fastest card in the tarot, right? So this is all about choosing a path, taking control, and fast forward, victorious movement, which is like the opposite of the Hermit energy. So you're just sitting there waiting for that to come in. Yeah, there's the Justice. You're like, you know, because this is you, Gemini. So you're just like, all right, I'll just be right here, just waiting for this justice to come in. You can just work through whatever this is and take care of it, right? I'm not sure if you're actually going to accept them back. This is how they're seeing you, though, right? The Emperor needs to make their decision. The Emperor needs to stand in his or her power. Aries energy here. Again, we're seeing Jon Snow twice, right? So this is representing them for sure. What don't you see? What don't you see, Gemini? I'm hearing there could be a broken home that is happening with this third party as well. This may not be a healthy scenario if this is another person, because it could be playing out like all of those, that's too many. It could be playing out all of those continual, like, repetitive cycles. And was seeing the Four of Pentacles there. So it's like holding back, covering their heart, protecting themselves. Eight of Pentacles, King of Swords. Ooh, this flipped that over. Okay, interesting. Seven of Wands, Four of Wands, Nine of Pentacles. Let me just move this over here. Okay, so what you don't see is, remember how you were showing up as Queen of Swords before? I think this person is stepping up into some kind of decision-making energy based off of clarity that they have come to. This person is becoming a king. Not the King of Cups that holds their emotions in. The king that speaks with clarity, that moves with clarity, that takes swift action. The one that knows what is right and wrong, and they make the right decision, okay? And that is going to be all about standing up and defending this relationship that they have with you and getting themselves free, because this is a single energy, so becoming single so that they're able to walk through this doorway with you, okay? Now, I do feel like this person, they still have ties to this other situation. It's not like it's not going to be a completely clean cut. There's something that these two have in common here that they're going to have to continue to share or deal with. But this person is, look at this, the strength to end things. They may be labeled a traitor because in this deck, that's what it says. But this is the strength to have a final ending, however painful it may be. And again, I'm seeing a giving type energy here. This person may have to give this person like alimony or something like that, child support. They might have to buy out this person's side of a business or a home or whatever it is. It's not going to come without a cost. And I do think that this person could lash out at them, right? And you're going to have to like deal with that scenario, deal with that situation so that they're able to move forward. Yes, they can move into calmer waters here. Then they can stand on the precipice of this decision. So that's this Chariot energy, because both of these are like a choice, right? And one of them is taking action here, and that's what you're waiting for. But in the underneath of what you don't see, this person is also getting ready to do that, right? But it requires an ending, a final ending. We have Death and the Ten of Swords card. Okay, so I do think that this person is moving towards you. I do see it happening. It's like slow, 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 fastest card in the deck, you know, because these are like opposite energies. So it goes from like Hermit energy, stale, stagnant, to fast forward movement and a decision being made. And you're going to be like, whoa, where is this dragon coming from? Oh, yeah. Look at you taking your power. It's awesome. And then that's when the chasing energy is going to be coming in. This person does want to step through this doorway with you, this opportunity here, and they are going to make the right decisions. And again, it's like you have this person, it's like this dragon, this mighty and fierce dragon comes back to being a baby on your arm here, and they can have that vulnerability with you. That shows that this person has actually like done the work. Okay, they're telling me to use naked truth. So this could be any part of this relationship here that is a message that someone may need to hear. This may not resonate with everyone here. These are very random messages. So let's see what comes up for Gemini. What would this person say to you? I hate that I hurt you. You didn't deserve this. Please don't blame yourself. It was my fault. They're embarrassed. I just heard they're embarrassed. Wow. And it's like, that is why they're in the shadows, even though you can see through it. Look what's on the back. I want a second chance. Not being with you is killing me. I can't stop thinking about you. I'm seeing these synchronicities. It's driving me insane. That's what happens with a high-level soulmate or especially twin flame. There's no escaping it, you guys. There's no escaping it. All you can do is choose to work through it or get dragged along by the energy. And the faster you can work through it, the less painful it's going to be for everyone involved, including anyone that you're leaving, any situation that you're leaving, right? Anything else for Gemini? Anything else for Gemini? Guys, thank you so much for being here, for liking, sharing, and subscribing. If you're interested in a private reading, that is in the description box, and it's under lighthouse.tapestry.com/Ruby. I have 30-minute, 60-minute, and 90-minute Zooms you can do, or if you want a pre-recorded reading, you can email me at my email address, and I will set you up with that. I miss making love to you. I will do anything just to hold you again. So whether or not this has happened in the 3D, this person has their passion stick just waiting for you. Let's see. I'm planning a romantic date, or can we just Netflix and chill like old times? I want to cook for you. No strings. Yeah, right. That was before. You're like, nope. Here I am waiting for nothing but what I deserve. And until you bring me that, it's not going to happen. No Netflix and chill. No, no, no. All right. So thank you so much for being here, Gemini. I will see you on the next video. Bye.